Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my fellow YouTubers, Facebookians. This is Take 3. This is a comments video from someone named Cigar Addict. Thanks for tuning in, Cigar Addict. I'm going to answer your questions, and I'm going to get to the point as fast as possible. This is part 2 on Medicare is now covering sex changes. Now, first of all, you said, please don't take this the wrong way, but wouldn't this be a good thing for you? I would think this would benefit you. Yes, it would, but as I said in my previous video, Aaron is hurting and Aaron deserves more help than giving sex changes out to the people just because, sex changes are covered. And then you said, I'm making some assumptions, but wouldn't this allow you to have your hormones covered? Yes, it would. It would be better for me to do it that way than pay out of my own pocket. And you can finish with all your surgeries. Again, yes. However, I'm going to answer also Angela Rennie, who gives some good valid points too. So let's cut to brass tacks. First of all, I'm disabled for mental and physical reasons. Now, me in my heart, having Medicare pay for sex changes is wrong. Hormones, breast implants, facial feminization, and gender reassignment surgery. Or some call it sex reassignment surgery, or some idiots out there call it gender conforming surgeries. Whatever. They rename it every few years, so what's next? Back to full sex changes? So, first of all, most transsexuals find out about this program will apply for Social Security just to get the Medicare, and the Medicare takes 2 years to get. Once they get on that, then they can work towards their gender transition, but a lot of transsexuals out there, about 99% of them, are already applying for disability because they say they can't work because they're trapped in the wrong body. And they can't go to work until they had their surgeries. Now here's this. A lot of them, and this is something me and Aaron were talking about on the walk, is, when we walked our dogs, is they could cover breast augmentation. But again, as I said in my previous videos, you get a woman who's an A cup, who's, not happy and is on disability and very low self-esteem, she's going to want a breast augmentation but can't get it because the transsexuals got it. Yes, it will benefit me, but I will get to that in a bit. Secondly, what about the women who have cancer or have large or extra large breasts and they need a mastectomy? I know a woman who was a 44 triple D, I believe it was, who couldn't get it. Her insurance kept denying it. Her Medicare was denying it. Medicaid was denying it. This was in the state of Washington. So technically, if they're going to deny mastectomies or breast reduction surgery because it's not medically necessary, but they want to keep the people on the government dole, then the government is, saying what it is. But yes, maybe if the woman had the reduction done, my friend I knew, maybe she would have went back to work. I don't know. But her back needed surgery on it, pins, rods, this and that, and she had huge breasts. Like I said, 44 triple Ds. Let's just say, secondly, most transsexuals out there that dream, sleep, and eat sex changes, male to females especially, they want to have sex as a woman naturally. They want a man's penis in them. I've talked to transgendered people that's all about having the biggest breasts. And then, if they can, they want to get bigger breasts. I've seen women go in for 400cc breast implants, 6 months later going for 800cc implants. And then, a year later, going in for 2000cc saline implants. That's as big as I've heard. I've heard there's larger. I heard one place did 3000cc's. And they looked like two giant balloon or basketballs like this. So you tell me, why would a woman want that type of thing? Secondly, even if the government's doing it, which they are, the problem with the sex changes is this. You have to have your face redone every few years if you have a facelift. And a lot of transsexuals have the facelift to make themselves more feminine under facial feminization. Then, once in a while, they're going to need to have their hair removed again. And hair removal is not cheap. So, what is that? Are they going to start authorizing hair removal for the transsexuals as well as hormones? Which they have to do hormones. What's next? It's medically necessary to give a male to female breast augmentation. for $7,000. Yes, the female to males that go through with it, they usually don't need facial work done again. Once they're on hormones, they grow out a beard and stuff. Their voice deepens. They get their chest done, but there's scarring on the chest. I mean, I've not seen a female to male's chest yet that looks perfect, just like a man's. Secondly, female to male, they only need one-time surgery, I believe, on the phalloplasty. They might need to have their penile implant replaced from time to time. I don't know. I haven't looked into it. I'm not female to male. Male to females, on the other hand, as I said once before, what if your tax dollars are paying for a transsexual to go through a sex change, yet they got to stay on disability, and every 10 years they got to get their augmentation, the breast implants, removed and augmented. And like you said in the other one, they could just go and say, oh, make them a little bigger, and the government's paying for it. It's like, because the implants are, the surgery's the same. Then there might be a few $1,000s more because they got breast former implants that they got to either sterilize and then put somewhere, where some people buy used implants on eBay just to show that they bought a pair of implants that was implanted in a woman who went bigger. I've seen that happen. But anyways, most male to females dream, sleep, and eat sex change. You can go to a transgendered group and it's all about having sexual intercourse as a woman. They don't sit there and talk about everyday life. It's like, yes, I want to have sex with a man when I have my sex change. I want to feel what it's really like. Doctors can make me have feeling. The doctors I've talked to said it's simulated in your head. You don't actually get the full sex change. You don't get full orgasms like a genetic woman. So, I'm going to be answering your questions, and I'm going to be answering Angela Rennie's. But yes, it could benefit for me. Aaron thinks it would benefit for me. Other people think it'd benefit for me, my family. But I'm still saying that the government should have kept it banned on the grounds that the government should have been looking at the prospects. Now they're just going to have more transsexuals trying to get on disability, saying it's a mental disability that they're transsexual. And most of them that want to have a sex change nowadays, they have reasons for doing it. There's a video out there by, I believe, John Nation, I think it is, the thinker, who basically, if you ever want the links, let me know in a message and I'll try to dig them up for you. He basically said there's 7 types of transsexuality. You get the ones that are true transsexual, like myself, born this way, that need their body changed to fit their mind. A lot of transsexual claims that, heck, I've talked to transsexual women that say, well, I tell people I was intersex and born both, so they accept it better. Truthfully, no. It's a lie. They're deceiving them. They just want to have a sex change because there's 7 types. One type is they're a gay man that can't accept being gay because of the Bible and the Quran and the Book of Mormon. So they have a sex change. They live as a woman. They get a guy, and the guy doesn't know. And when he does find out, he gets crap kicked out of him. Is that the way you want this country to run? Second type is the transsexual male to females, mostly, that want to have a sex change so they can be taken care of by a man. That's it. They don't want to work. They think if they have boobs, they can get free drinks. I've seen transsexuals undergo so much plastic surgery that they get done, and it's like, there's a woman I met who is post-operative, who's a doctor, and I'm not going into details, but I asked her, and she said, no, I can't get a guy, even though I look passable, sounded passable, and technically there was another problem with it. Third one was that she said is even though she had the money to do all these things, no guy wanted her, and she did experience sex, and she didn't feel anything. It was just like taking and masturbating with your penis, for example. No offense to Miss Rennie if you're watching this, and you can't release yourself. It's just like masturbating over and over and over with no release. No offense to anyone watching this. Next problem is the ones that want to live as a girl, be a girl, but keep their penis. If you're going to have a sex change, you go all the way and get rid of Mr. Dong. You don't sit there and be like, alright, I'm a Michelle, I'm a she-male. Fine, you're a she-male. Good luck with that. Then you got the cross-dressers that think if they could have a sex change, they could look cute in their dresses, but a lot of cross-dressers that go through with it, they end up killing themselves. About 90% of the transsexuals kill themselves after they've had sex because they don't feel anything, and it was the wrong decision to make. Now, the government wants to kill them all, Why should we be paying for the government, your tax dollars, to pay for a sex change when they're going to commit suicide? The ones that don't commit suicide have other problems. Rest of their life, they're going to have a urinary tract infection and yeast infections because they have open wound down below to pee. They got to keep it clean all the time. They got to keep it dilated so it doesn't close up. It's just a hassle, and I'm not saying I'm not saying I would benefit, but you got to look at the other options on it. Secondly, or the next one is, like I said, there's gays and the lesbians. They can't accept their being homosexual or lesbian, so they change. Then there's the ones that are fetish, that think they can't get laid, so technically, look what happens. They have to have a sex change, whether they're male to female, female to male. Female and males are more transsexual than anyone. They feel trapped in the wrong body. They try living as a woman. They try giving birth as a woman. But in the end, they know they're a man in a woman body, and they change to fit their mind. But they also realize that they can never be a true man, even if they act like a gentleman, take care of their wife. They're more gentlemen, just like you are, cigar addict. Yes, it could benefit me. I'm just saying the elderly need it more. And then you got, like I said, the women that's low self-esteem, that's on disability for other reasons, and they're an A cup. They could use implants, but then they're going to turn around and the doctor says, well, we can't give you breast implants because you're not transsexual. Then, eventually, someone's going to find a way to abuse the system and backdoor it to give the A-cupped, low self-esteem woman breast implants. Then you got the transsexuals that are going to try to abuse the system so they can have a sex change on the government, because that's all they do. They eat, sleep, and breathe sex change. That's all they want. They want sex with men. They want to be taken care of. They want to be the wifey. They want to sit at home watching TV, eating bonbons, vacuuming, dusting, etc. Then they go overboard when it comes to being foofy. They sit there and say, oh, I got this new pink coat. Oh, I got these nice high heels. High heels. Other things. They wear a dress. They got to wear a dress. I know transsexuals that can't wear pants. They got to wear dresses. Then they see me and they say, oh, well, you're a man. You're just trying to live as a woman. I've lived as a woman 16 years. I myself. I could sit there and tell you, cigar addict, if we sat side by side in a bar and you didn't know me, I would not be making passes at you. But I would sit there, if you were interested in cigars, talking about my favorite cigar smokes that I've tried. Heck, my little tin like this has about 400 cigar labels that Aaron wants to make up and put into magnets so they hang on the door of all the ones that I liked, and he's got one column of all the ones that were okay and all the ones that I don't approve and taste nasty. Transsexual woman would say cigar smoking's wrong, but guess what? I know women that look like models that wear three-piece business suits, smoke cigars, and enjoys it. Then they turn around and tell me, you're doing the right thing, girl. You're being yourself. For them, well, I can't mow the lawn. I have to have a man do it. Oh, well, if I do it, then I need a riding lawnmower. Well, there's a joke going around my apartment complex that our apartment manager is more female, and her husband's more male, and her husband's female. Husband comes home, likes to get high and drink whiskey and beer and stuff, sit in front of the TV. She goes out, she manages the apartments. She mows the lawn, picks up the trash, does everything. She gets moody at times, but you know what? She uses the riding lawnmower. Heck, if she could have a beer sitting in the little soda cooler on the lawnmower they got, the riding one, they would be doing that. Instead, she's doing 99% of the work. Heck, if they told her she was the new maintenance person to learn on-hands training, she'd probably do it because, well, it's money. Now, transsexual male to females are overly foofy. You don't see a genetic female walking down the street being overly foofy. Yeah, they can be stuck up. I've met trannies that are stuck up like, oh, you don't have any money? Well, I don't want to know you. I know trannies that are like that. They're post-operative. They've had tons of cosmetic surgery. You can still tell they were man. And guys say, whoa, you got a nice pair of boobs, but that's about it. Oh, you're a stripper? Well, do you have your penis? Oh, no? Well, even if it's inverted, I'm not going to be paying you at the stripper pole $50 in your garter belt just so you can do this. You're a tranny, I'm a genetic guy. And then they turn around and say, I need a handsome man that's got a 6 or 8 pack, drives a BMW or Caddy. And then I see all these genetic women that are the same way. They take and they take, but they don't want to give to the disabled in the time of day. They see a disabled man, Oh, you're fat and lazy. They see a disabled woman, they're fat and lazy. The disabled woman, same thing. Oh, well, the disabled woman, I know one that's 400 pounds, has a child now, and from, I think it was a Hispanic guy, he was married with like 5 kids. He wanted a screw buddy, so she was it. But she had high standards. She wanted a guy with money so she can eat and eat and eat. Well, Aaron made a pass at her. Oh, well, you're fat. I can't date fat people. See, this is the stuff we get in. I go to the grocery store, being myself, and I'll strike up a conversation with a cute checker girl, and I'll be like, oh, you're looking lovely today. And they blush and they say, oh, thank you, Rita. Whereas, you know, I mean, yes, if I was wearing low-cut shirts showing my breasts and I was out in public, people would look at me and say, oh, that might be a transgendered person, but we shouldn't discriminate. So they could try to say, can we help you, sir, sir, or, you know, I get usually, oh, how are you today, sir? I'm wearing a woman's outfit, a dress, and it's like, how are you today, sir? And that's where it irritates me. So I try to do my shopping at night, or, you know, places I know. Heck, I've been discriminated against the hospital. But the hospital's going to be seeing me soon because I got some business to do with them, but that's beside the point. Point is, I got to see the financial aid lady. Not financial aid so much as the payment plan thing, because I got a bill that I contacted her on. They said I owed $30, and they have to give 4 months before they send it to collection. I got a 2-day notice saying it's going to collection, and it's past 30 days. I made a payment last month of like $30, and they wanted $40, and they're like, oh, well, you know, now you need $30.60. Well, I called the lady up, and no answer. Finally, Aaron got in touch with her and said, we'll be up there. But I made a payment, and I paid off one bill that was $46. $46, and yet they're like, oh, well, we need 30 more. How do you do 30 more when you're basically piss poor right now? Yeah. So, when it comes to the disabled, yes, maybe they need the sex change. The problem is in my opinion, the elderly need it more, because think of it, the male to females are going to get a facelift every 10 years. Just because they can look more feminine, so they don't look masculine. It's medically needy for them. Why doesn't the elderly need a facelift and breast augmentation and a breast lift and body recontouring when they want to look younger again? What if their self-esteem's low and they're an old crusty lady at 80? Maybe they can't handle the surgery, but still, Medicare should allow it as well if they're going to allow sex changes. A sex change is basically cosmetic surgery. Now, they turned around and they say they do not cover cosmetic surgery in their handbook. Taking one's penis and inverting it and surgically making it into a neo-vagina is cosmetic surgery. Taking someone's vagina, ovaries and uterus out first, and then taking the vagina, taking skin from their butt or their thigh, and making a man-made penis. Mind you, man-made penis is cosmetic surgery. So, if Medicare's regulations state that a sex change is not cosmetic surgery, then their handbook needs to be rewritten, because right now they're opening the door to attacks on transsexuals on the grounds of maybe Social Security wants to get them off, Medicare and Social Security work together to get them off of disability by giving them the sex change. Maybe. I heard Washington State's only paid like 20 sex changes that were medically necessary under Medicaid, but now they're going after them for money. One was a female, a male, I believe. Don't quote me, it's been a while since I read it. Point is the elderly need their surgeries. The elderly need it. Yes, I could benefit, no problems. To Angela Rennie, I think cosmetic surgeries, whether or not you're transgendered, shouldn't be covered because it's about your looks, not about your gender identity. Well, Miss Rennie, most transsexuals will think if they can't look as, no offense, as cute and as attractive as you in your profile picture, then, you know, then they're going to be fighting it because they think it's more about what they look like on the outside than what's in the inside. So, yes, Aaron basically said that a man who's got a female soul should try to live as a man the rest of their life, or a female should live as a female instead of living, or a man's soul in a female body should live as a female the rest of their life. Therefore, you know, in his opinion, he didn't want to get into this video. I might have to remake it for him and me tomorrow, but right now, you got my insights. Breast implants aren't necessary because hormones already give you breasts. Well, here's the kicker, Ms. Rennie, about hormone replacement therapy on a male to female. A male to female that gets breast augmentation has to get it because, say your mother is a 34B cup. You go through hormones, you might end up with a 36A cup. That's about the equivalent in bras is what your mom would be if you were there. You were 1 to 2 cup sizes smaller on hormones. Heck, there's transsexuals that are not overweight, that their mom are very well endowed. They end up with breasts, huge, natural breasts, yet they still go and get implants because they think bigger boobs are better. Most women nowadays want at least a double D cup, and that's what most of the bra companies are selling. They're not selling D cups or C cups or B cups. The average bra size is double D. Double D, which is E, then triple D, which is F. Then there's G, H, all the way to like triple Z or higher. And some of these places, I've seen cup sizes going up to N cup or P cup. There's a guy that's getting breast implants by himself and wants to develop the perfect bra for a woman. He's Nigerian. We think it might be a stunt, but here's the thing. You know, breasts only go so far in hormones. Then you need the implants to make yourself more confident. So you don't get called sir even if you're on estrogens. And, you know, thing is the other thing I was going to say is with these foofy trannies that eat, sleep, and breathe transsexualism and only wants to talk about their sex change and their future husbands that they're going to get after in group therapy, there's a problem. Now, from what I understand, talking to a transsexual woman, one of the clinics basically asked if they were interested in sex after being a woman. And they said, I have no plans to, I'm a lesbian, but it might change that I will want a man. So I'm not ruling it out. Well, they want to hear, oh, you want a boyfriend, you want to be a genetic girl or close enough, fine. And a lot of female males date women only. So, because, you know, and a lot of them say, oh, well, they're lesbians trapped in, you know, a female body and they can't come out, so they undergo a sex change, and they find ways to do it. Most transsexuals that I've met are deceitful and liars that just want it for fetishes. They want to do it to have sex with men, and they want to be taken care of. And Social Security, if they're going to do something like this, needs to have a panel that sits there and talks to the transsexual instead of going through different channels and having Social Security just sit there through need by need basis of each person and say, oh, this person's transsexual, this person's not, this person is. They need to sit down and say, what is your goals? Heck, I've talked to transsexuals that say, oh, well, a real woman needs to wear hooker boots like, what's her name? The one that played Vivian in Pretty Woman, and, you know, Julia Roberts, who's wearing the hooker boots and the low-cut shirt, you know, and having her boobs hanging out, and wearing thigh-highs, or wearing thigh-highs and a garter belt and a chamille or a teddy, and being like, oh yeah, look how sexy and hot. I've seen a lot of trannies do that, and then in their pictures to get money to pay for this sex thing, they're showing female pics of them with their dog. Rock hard, and it's like, it's nasty. And I know one tranny that paid for a sex change by doing that. Doing Gmail pics. Once she had that done, she took down the website and said, thank you, you all paid my sex change. She's one of those that wants a guy, doesn't want to sell anything she owns. A boat, car, motor, home, travel, trailer, fifth wheel, her house, her car. She's got a custom plate. I think she's from Georgia. But yeah, you look at all these people out there, and then they say, us, the freaks, are taking away or taking advantage of the situation. In my opinion, I don't think a sex change should have been lifted because too many people are going to take advantage of the system just to get it done, one way or another. And then the genetic women are going to throw a fit when they can't have a facelift, body recontouring, tummy tuck, breast lift, breast reduction, breast enhancement, whatever you want to call it, just so they can look younger. And they're saying, oh, it's not medically necessary, you should age gracefully, or we can't pay your cancer medications or cancer treatment because we have to pay for a sex change. Then the elderly get pissed off at people like me for being disabled, and then one day they're gonna be like, oh, did you have your sex change paid for Medicare? Yeah. Then they're going to be going after everyone that's transsexual because of it. And that's not just the genetic females that are unhappy with their breasts or their looks. It's also going to be the guys that are upset that their taxpayers paid for it. So, now, before I close up, the foofy trannies, like I said, all they want to do is be too foofy. I'm not foofy. They don't think of me being a trans woman because I sit there and I talk about fly fishing books, cigars, music, movies, video games. They sit there, I need the latest Percy for my shoesies. I stopped going to transgendered meetings because it was all about them getting frickin' laid and not getting to the damn problem. And then people think I am wrong because, I don't think about sex as a woman or sex as a lesbian. I mean, yes, I could clearly state, yes, it does happen at times, but guess what? It's just a fantasy. But I don't fantasize about it all the time. While they're going through the sex change, I've heard people say, yes, I masturbate 4 times a day, relieving myself, pretending and being prepared to be the woman that I am, at getting that penis in me. And not my former penis, but a nice man's penis. Okay, so now you have it. I should get my Bible time in and shower, but you get the point. So, let me recap the answers. Please don't take this the wrong way, but wouldn't it be a good thing for you? I would think this would benefit you. I'm making some assumptions, but wouldn't this allow you to have your hormones covered and you can finish with it? Yes, it would. All of it. But I don't want to be abused by the elderly or other people saying I took advantage of the system when there's going to be a lot of transsexuals out there that's now going to try to file for disability just to get their sex change paid for. Miss Rennie, cosmetic surgeries, if the Medicare handbook says no cosmetic surgery unless it's deemed necessary, which it says strictly no cosmetic surgery, that means whether you are transgendered or not, that should not let the transgenders get it done because it's, like you said, it's about the looks. Now, I could look as cute as you, but deep down, I just took away from, say, your grandmother, grandfather, or your uncle or aunts, or any of them on Medicare, because they're not going to get the treatments because the government's running out of money to pay for sex changes. Breast implants are not necessary, but like I said, the cup sizes from genetics. If your mom's small, you're going to be almost flat-chested, which means you need the breast tissue enough after 2 years of hormones to get implants. So, there you have it. Most of the things I've talked about, the cross-dressers, they just want a sex change because they want to do it and then they realize it's wrong. Females only want to get partial sex change and then they want to keep the penis. If you're going to go through the sex change, you go all the way. The fetish people, they think they can't, like I said, they want to wear the sexy clothes, look like the hookers, thinking all women are like this. Most women aren't like that. Most women are not dressing like hookers, sluts, and whores. So the trans women all think that. And that's why you see a lot of these body swapping movies where the guy, or, YouTube videos where the guy becomes a girl. Next thing you know, he's wearing thigh highs and hooker boots and everything else going, feeling his boobs and being like, dude, I don't want to be a woman, but look at I got this, and then he's there. Then later in life, their mind's changing to a woman, but they don't want to be a guy anymore. But the girl wants back into her body, and he's like, and then you hear in Japanese or whatever, like, blah, 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 meaning like, don't touch my boobs, and he's like, it's all a skit, but you get the idea. The men are doing the sex change for perverted reasons. They want to have sex with a woman, man, and then, then you have the ones that can't get laid by anyone, so they're just going to have a sex change and start fingering themselves or using a vibrator because they can't get it. And if they do find a guy, more luck to them. Oh, wow, wee. And finally, on this whole video rant that answers your questions about why I think it's bad, and there needs to be some regulation on it, is the transsexuals need to learn that a woman can be themselves by smoking cigars. I know women that work on cars, grow their own vegetables. These trannies say, oh, well, working on cars is a man's thing. Oh, growing vegetables, well, that's a woman's thing, but I'm not going that way, so I think it's outdated. Right. So the stereotypical woman is going to get more pissed off at the trannies for trying to be more foofy and more feminine, and then saying, I'm hot, look how much surgery I had. I need to have a guy, and I'm going to get your guy. And then the genetic women beat the piss out of them too. And then then you look around and you see all these things like Jerry Springer, Montel Williams, the Oprah show, Jenny Jones, all these former talk show hosts, Geraldo Rivera, all talking about, the deceit and the corruption. And then we get the flack for it. And the elderly, they just need their services. They've paid the taxes. And I would like to see eventually, a cigar addict, for you to get your tax money's worth if you are on Medicare, because you're going to need it. And I don't think that you should be paying for me or others to have a sex change. Now, I have been pushed by other people to get it done because, well, it's a good idea, until they decide to take it away. Right now, this administration's lifted it, so it's a new world we live in. There was one other thing I was going to say about it is, yeah, the stereotypical women is not going to be wearing teddies and thigh highs a lot. Some of them do it because they're modeling, and some of them just want to get to show off their bodies to men so they can get more views or whatever. So when you see it from that point of view, you understand that a sex change should not be paid by the taxpayers. I mean, most of them, it's fetish. And the ones that are truly transsexuals, they're the ones that get ridiculed the most because they've been diagnosed as transsexual. But then you see these people say, oh, do you want to have sex with a man? And they say, oh, not likely. I just want to be myself. And then, well, we don't think you're transsexual because you don't want to have a penis in you. And stuff like that irritates the piss out of me. And then Aaron gets really pissy. He's met trannies that are always putting me down for saying that I am not a true trans because I like cigars and pipe tobaccos and bourbons and whatever else, But truthfully, I'm myself. They can't be themselves. There's someone they're not. And that's where I think it's wrong. If you're going to be yourself, you can be celibate. You can want to have a penis in you. You can want to rub vaginas with each other as lesbians do and be happy. Or you can be non-sexual and be happy too. And a lot of these trannies like to put others down. And then it's a problem, So, there was one other thing about it. It was, oh yes, the transsexual women think that if they become a woman, a true woman, in their opinion, they can get anything they want because they have boobs and a vagina. It doesn't work that way. Even if you pass, most women just want to live the transsexuals that I met that are in my predicament, they just want to live their life, but they also agree that they do not want to get the flack for having the elderly pay and lose their benefits for sex changes. And that's the main thing, and that's where it is wrong. When you have all these foofy people and there's stereotypical, So, nowadays, in the 70s and the 80s, more and 90s, more women were looking sexy and hot like hookers. And the transsexuals wanted to follow their footsteps, and now they're doing it. But guess what? As they age, they're going to realize no one's going to want them anyways, even after the sex change. So even if they found someone, they're going to have to be honest, and they won't. So they're doing it. Most of the people doing sex changes are doing it for the wrong reason. And because they eat, sleep, and breathe sex change, they're going to try to do everything to take advantage of the system. So if you think I want to take advantage of the system, I don't. So, yeah. So there you have it. If you want to look up that video for you on the 7 types of transsexuality, I'd gladly do it for you. But like I said, most of the people that's doing it are doing it for the wrong reasons. Yes, I could benefit, but how many people will be very angry with me if I took that offer up? I mean, in the end, it might end up that way anyways. It's God's will. But me, I just want to be myself. Complete or not complete. And preferably complete, but I don't want to take advantage of it either. I'm just myself. And like I said, Social Security might be doing this so they can get rid of the transsexuals off the disability. But who knows? Some of them might end up being there permanently anyways after they get all the surgeries done. And then they just need minor modifications like facelift or breast augmentation revisions periodically. Sorry if I upset you, Miss Angela Rennie, but you made some good points, and I just want to say your points are all valid, and I'm not going to deny any of your points. Mr. Cigar Addict, you made some valid points too. I will have to think on it thoroughly. So, this video is 35 minutes long. I'm going to get out of here. For all of you watching this, if I can remember the last part of the sex change thing I want to talk about, I might make another video or write it down for me and Aaron's video tomorrow. With that said, please add and subscribe if you like. Please post comments, leave feedback and suggestions. Thank you, and may God bless the world.